Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for the collective. Hello, collective. Hope you're doing well. So this is a general reading where I'm tuning into general energies, and I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, Spirit, what do we need to hear today? What messages do we need? All right, so collective. In the past, you were in the energy of Four of Wands. Foundation and achievements. Fours are stability, security, safety. The Four of Wands is family, celebration, coming together. Right, so something in your past collective around your foundations and achievements. All right, it looks like in the past, there was someone in your energy who was emotionally manipulating you. Since this is about your foundation and achievements and around family, this could be with your, in regards to your family of origin. This could be in regards to a spouse or someone you shared a long-term connection with. Getting the feeling that you thought you had the Four of Wands. You thought you had the full meal deal, complete package. And it feels like a blinder. I've got the Four of Wands. I've got the stability. I've got the security. I've got the people around me who love me. However, it looks like instead you had someone who was emotionally unavailable, manipulated your emotions. I'm feeling some gaslighting here, someone who liked to light you up, maybe say things in private to really poke your buttons to get you emotionally. They knew exactly where your tender and sore spots are, and instead of holding a safe space for you to heal, they used those emotional triggers and your trauma against you. All right, it looks like for a long time, this might have created so much confusion in your space. It might have caused you to create like a runner chaser type of energy, where you kept trying to heal this connection and heal this person. However, there's something in the past where you started getting some healing. You started healing yourself, and it's like you manifested, you wanted to manifest this Four of Wands energy, that stability, security. You got some bit of like healing enough to see that get some clarity around this person and the connection. I don't want to blame it all on this person. This is someone who's obviously unhealed, unconscious, but you became more conscious and could see the manipulation. That takes a lot. That really, I mean, it feels like you were very unconscious in this. You were stuck in this loop. They had you in this nagging you, never or rarely appreciating, never valuing you, never loving or caring for you. It felt like this person was interested in power plays and power dynamics, and they liked being chased. Not just by you, they like being chased. They like others doing all the work. They like having all the power and kind of holding it over others. This person probably likes being in an authoritative position at work, or whoever they perceive as under them. They create a dynamic where anybody they can get that has to kind of kowtow to them. They buy friendships, they manipulate. And if you don't play the game with them, they're very punishing. Despite finding this out, having clarity, it was really hard to leave this connection because there's this fear of change, and knowing this person is very punishing, and it depleted you. Since you gave away all your caring, your loving, it was like you abandoned yourself in this connection. And by the time you realized, oh my gosh, I've been working so hard for this connection, I've been lied to, I've been manipulated, you're seeing it clearly, but now you're so depleted, maybe isolated, and so full of fear and feeling very alone, it felt like you couldn't leave. Whew, the sadness, the grief, it's like coming up in my throat, like just this is not what you thought you were creating. You really thought you were creating a strong foundation, that you were pouring your energy and love and care into someone who was worthy of that. And when you realize they are not, maybe at some point you felt like you weren't worthy, but it's not. It's because they're not worthy of you. Beautiful. All right. So in present energy, present time, you are in 5 of Cups, emotional loss. There's definitely that feeling of, of missing the illusion of what you thought you were creating, because you put so much time and hard work, but there was nothing coming back. I'm getting that you poured so much of your energy into this person that you didn't know where you began and they ended. That what you might have felt was like this incredible heartache, and you might have assumed it was them, but it's because they still have some of your energy. You're missing you. There's also a wound here that I'm getting. Rejection breeds obsession. This might have been a pattern that you had. We'll get to family patterns, but this feels like a family pattern that a parent of yours rejected you. It feels like a mother wound, that you didn't get the love and affection, that you had to prove yourself to your mother, you had to constantly chase, and instead you were neglected, and they were so caught up. The mother was so caught up in their own stuff, but just unavailable, emotionally unavailable. And so in your upbringing, you chased and chased and chased and did try to prove and tried to be seen, see me, love me, care for me. I can feel I'm worthy of it, but I'm getting a reflection that from my mother that you're not worthy. This could have been like a highly critical mother, constantly nitpicking, never sharing anything positive, not a very nurturing mother. And so it created this, it feels like that never got resolved and healed. And so you recreated that in a romantic spousal relationship, long-term kind of connection, someone you lived with. And you tried to recreate, you felt comfortable with that dynamic. You spent so much time chasing after your mother's love and affection, and you never was seen, you were never cared for and loved. You weren't, so you recreated that scenario in a romantic setting and wanted to change the outcome, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Insanity. Excuse me. Wow. This is changing. You're seeing this pattern. Wow. There's new information coming in. You're whether this is from someone or maybe your guides. You are seeing things, the truth of the situation very clearly, which is helping you to release this obsession with needing to heal this person, getting this person back, getting this person to change, getting this person to heal, getting this person to see you. This person, their whole place in this is not to give you that different outcome, but to allow you to see this wounding, this initial wounding. And once you see it, once you get the truth of that, once you it resonates and you're like, oh my gosh, that has been, then you can't continue to be in those type of connections. Yeah, so you're moving on. You're moving forward. You're very determined. It's taken a lot of courage and bravery to take the reins, to take your control back, to take your energy back and leave. Feel this sense of pride, like realizing your value and worth, and not wasting your time with people who don't value you and don't see you worthy. It doesn't feel like just romantic relationships. It feels like in connections and like needing people, needing everybody to see your value and worth, instead of realizing that, you know, some people just aren't going to see my value and worth. And they're not for me, and that's okay. Maybe also seeing bosses who don't see your value and worth. Friends who you chase, who you're constantly frustrated with because you're not getting the support back that you need. Yet it feels like it breeds a lot of resentment. If you're honest about yourself, about this situation, it builds, like, even in that initial wounding, this love, yes, but also every time you get denied a reflection of who you are, every time they project their limitations and darkness onto you, every time they run away, there's this resentment. All right, family patterns, solar plexus chakra. So your solar plexus chakras below your heart space, it's where your ribs meet. That energetic chakra center is in regards to your personal power. Indeed, yes. So it is a family pattern. It's someone who the family pattern is not empowering children. It feels like a family pattern of we're the leaders. We never apologize. Because we never do anything wrong. You are below us, so we never make a mistake. And it's about control, doing what you're told, behavior modification. It's about your behavior. It's about how they perceive you. It's about how others perceive you, and not a heart connection. It feels, yeah. Oof. It's just a very immature way of being. Judgment. That sounded really judgmental. How can I say that in a different way? It's an older way of being, an older, old-fashioned. It's something we're shifting away from as a collective. Instead of children should be seen and not heard, that you are judged by your children. So they're an extension of you. They're not someone separate and wonderful that you want to nurture and then allow to move on. It's about controlling their behavior, controlling how they think, controlling how they speak, because kids are seen as like an extension of who you are. And so they projected blame onto you and didn't nurture or give you this affection. And this is not, I'm not trying to poo-poo parents. This is a generational thing that's been going on, you might have difficulty forgiving parents or a difficult relationship because you've never resolved this resentment that you have and them never seeing you. Ooh, that just kind of, wow. There's this comedian who shifts. I love, I can't remember what her name is. I'll find her name and put it in the description box. Maybe with a link to, she's got this, a little part of her stand-up where she talks about how someone says, you know, oh, I don't like my parents. An adult says, I don't like my parents. And she's like, you're an adult. They were messed up people. They weren't these amazing, you know, superior, that it feels like in each family, they wanted to be the boss. They wanted to have control. And so they set the system up so we are amazing. We do no wrong. And then they're failing, but not admitting to any of their failures. They're never apologizing. They're never taking responsibility for huge mistakes. And so she says in the comedy stand-up, you know, these are my parents, Tim and Rhonda. They did what they could. They're not mom and dad. It's like this wound leaves you chasing. Maybe you might still be chasing your mother's approval. Like, just that would feel so good to finally be seen. And if you need that in order to heal and get on, instead of realizing that they were just messed up people. Yes, they are your mother and father, but they're messed up people too. They're not what you were. I don't know how to explain that more. I feel like you get it if this message is for you. So by seeing them as Tim and Rhonda, they did the best they could, kind of lets them off the hook a bit. I'm also seeing, if you have children, this might be a dynamic that you have been trying to heal within your own family, your own connection with your children. All right, personal issues, it's Two of Pentacles, movement, choices, and decisions. Okay, this is in regards to a personal issue. I've mentioned this came up in another reading recently, of a personal issue that you might be exploring right now is wanting what you need instead of wanting what you want. Once you realize that a lot of your choices and decisions, the way you move has been like, I want this. And having this awareness that, oh, wait, I've been constantly chasing after what I want and ignoring, not wanting what I need. Maybe this person in this past connection, you wanted a Four of Wands. That's what you wanted. Here comes this person. You're like, all right, now we're going to create Four of Wands. Maybe this wasn't the correct person, maybe it was, to get the lesson learned, but maybe that type of wanting what you want and kind of plowing through and pulling as many people into this dream instead of what you want to create, instead of working with the universe and asking, what is it that I need? I want to want what I need. I want to eat the foods that my body needs for nourishment. I want to do physical activities that I need to do. I want to do those things. I want to be able to communicate the things I need to communicate. All right. Your conscience, sacrifice. What you would do if no one was there to judge you. The Hanged Man. Ooh. I feel that what you want to do is see yourself the way you see yourself and not be constantly chasing after other people's ways that they are perceiving you, not trying to change the way people are perceiving you, not chasing after people and saying, I'm this. It feels like this is also a continuation. Like you're done. You're done sacrificing your time, your energy on people and in situations where they don't see you. It has created and they project their stuff onto you, which just energetically is very confusing and hurtful. You're wanting to see yourself, see your light, appreciate your light, not sacrifice your time and energy, not sacrifice yourself to give your energy to people who are determined to, they can't, they won't see you. And you're seeing yourself as an empress. What you want to do if no one was there to judge you is just step into the light of who you are. You're someone who's abundant, nurturing, has so many wonderful ideas and connections to inspiration. You want to accomplish the things that you've been set out to accomplish. It feels like you've been distracted by chasing others, trying to get others to see how amazing you are and the potential of where you can go, and they don't see it. And so it keeps you in this, like, I'm just waiting for someone to see my value and potential. And instead you're like, no, I'm focusing on me. I'm going to see my value and potential. I'm going to give to myself and I'm going to conquer. I'm going to grow and evolve. I'm going to take action. I'm not just going to meditate and feel, but I'm going to take action towards me living the life I've always wanted to live, being the person I've always wanted to be, and not needing permission or not needing validation from others in order to do that. Your desire right now is 8 of Cups, emotional withdrawal. Your desire is to walk away from anything and anyone who anything and anyone who doesn't emotionally fulfill you. You're moving away, you're withdrawing your energy, your care and attention and your energy, your light from situations and people who are emotionally unfulfilling. The next card in the deck is Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So you're walking away. Your desire is to walk away from all these situations and walk towards your emotional fulfillment, your Nine of Cups. In the center of the reading, your higher self is in the energy of trapped in fear. Fear has kept you small. Fear of how these people have projected and seen you and projected their limitations and seen and your limitations and not nurtured people who are wanting you to chase their energy, wanting to manipulate. It has kept you fearful. It feels like a lot of fears are coming up. Your higher self is saying it's time to face these fears. They've kept you small. They've kept you trapped. Yeah. What I like about this image is at first you think, oh, they're trapped behind actual bars. But when you look closely, it's just a window. They're not really trapped. Those aren't bars. That's a window. They're choosing. It's a choice. It's learning how to meet your fears, move through them, doing it anyway. It's uncomfortable, but it's how you evolve, facing those scary aspects of yourself, facing those scary things. There's something that you're wanting to do, something that you're really excited about maybe, or tinkering with. But these limitations, these fears come up. Well, what if? Well, what if? Don't allow your fears to stop you from becoming you. All right, your challenge right now is material harvest, Nine of Pentacles. Your challenge right now is being independent. Feels like there's a loneliness. It's okay if you're alone, but there's a fear of being lonely, of not having enough. Ooh, this feels like a challenge of after kind of while you're healing from these energies, these limitations, these traumas, to truly see yourself and the value you have. Your challenge is to see your own value and worth, to stop resisting your own success, Stop resisting your own abundance. this is the challenge is to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to learn how to support yourself and not need the validation from others first in order to follow your dreams. All right. The lesson is Five of Swords, conflict and defeat. Yeah. Ego. Someone who's manipulated you. Some of you might feel defeated. It feels like some of you might be stuck in that original, like the story of what people have done to you. And you might be perceiving it completely accurate. And so you just keep going round and around this story of how they did you wrong, how they hurt you, the lies, the conflict, how they took advantage of you, how they did you wrong. Maybe you do this a lot. It feels very victim energy, and it's time to, I'm not saying this isn't correct, but there's another expanded view, another layer of the story, which is what we've been talking about here, why you were drawn to this type of person, why you were drawn to these type of situations and these kind of people. So here's what they did. And then once you work through that, a lot of people stay stuck in this constantly over who did you wrong. And I'm not saying, and some people, can move through this quickly, but most people kind of stay in this a while. Some people stay in this for their whole life. The next is seeing what you brought to this, why you are attracting this type of energy, why you are attracted to this type of energy. And that's what this reading has been about. And then once you take responsibility and see the patterns that you've got control over, that you can make decisions from, you can move to a different level, more broad, expansive, and see the lessons that you've learned and taken away from this situation. And all this is true or can be true. It's not negating, it's just a broader and more expansive way of perceiving things. And this is where you start taking your power back. This is where you start healing. When you expand, if you stay in this, nothing changes. So what happened, what they did, seeing your patterns, seeing the lessons, seeing how the collective views this, seeing it just broader and broader points of view. And the bigger you make it, the more light you bring into this, the more willingness to accept larger definitions of what's happened, the less control this has, the less it's like you graduate from these lessons. When you get out here, you're like, oh, okay, I got it. I learned that. You're able to see these people when they come into your life. You're like, oh, no, thank you. I'm going to make a different choice, not judging them, they're still in that cycle of learning the lesson. And you're not. And so it's just, it doesn't have that pull and that draw to it anymore. And so you go on to learn other things. The advice is 5 of Wands, obstacles and challenges. Interesting. The base of your reading here is 5, 4, 5. So 5s are difficult. They're changes. 4s, stability. 5, obstacles and challenges. So there's what I'm seeing is that the obstacles and challenges, the defeat and the conflict that you've been through is going to give you that 4, that stability. You're going to get through these obstacles and challenges if you're willing to see the truth. Creating boundaries, create clear boundaries, healthy boundaries. You are important. You are the manager of you. If you do not enjoy being around someone, but you feel you're obligated to, there's creating clear boundaries so these people and these situations don't rob you of your light, don't rob you, don't allow them. I mean, robbing you sounds like you have no power against that. It's you're powerless against them taking, and instead you're wanting to see your worth, be very clear about your worth, communicate directly when there's an issue, be willing to see the truth, be willing to see this is a truth, this is also a truth, this is also a truth, truth. So being willing to see the truth and having your perspective doesn't have to, you don't have to agree with others, how they're perceiving things, how they're perceiving you. It's okay to see things differently. Your advice is to okay. Your advice. Wow. So your obstacle and challenge right now, I'm getting that you're in this Queen of Swords energy and there's the King of Swords in reverse. Oh, this comes back to wanting what you want. Chasing. I want to convince someone who is determined to not see me correctly, someone who's manipulative, who disempowers me. I want to change their mind and have this. Your challenge is to let this pattern go. To let go of the chase. To heal this wound. For many of you, it's a mother wound. and feed your own worth, fill your own cup, know your value, know your worth. Communicate that more often. If you feel yourself or you hear yourself thinking about, talking about how they did you wrong, kind of staying in this victim mode, just knowing that at some point, maybe an intention, I want to heal from this, I want to release this, I want to let this go. I'm curious what it would feel like to move from relationships, connections that are like this, to connections that are like this, where we're both in truth, we're both communicating clearly and honestly, we're both supporting each other, the power couple. How much further you can get along, move forward with that type, being curious, what would that feel like? Who would show up and how would that be? All right. That's it. That's your reading. I hope this was helpful. Thank you, collective. Bye.